They are the laws designed to take down criminals, but all too often they ensnare innocent men and women, too. We're talking about when police seize the cash and the property that they suspect are proceeds from a crime.
Tonight, the 7 investigators are looking into cases where cops appear to have gone too far. And investigator Ross Jones joins us now with more on this. Ross.
Joanne, Stephen, good afternoon. Let's be clear here. Most people whose assets are seized are guilty of some sort of criminal behavior, but not all of them. Sometimes the only thing they're really guilty of is being in the wrong place at the wrong time. People like Lena Bergen, who was pulled over by police on her way to her Westland home.
Never in a million years would I thought I'd get pulled over for an air freshener hanging from my mirror.
But she was, and soon 2 Westland police officers told her to step out of her vehicle. Bergen told them she had drugs in the car, marijuana and pills. That's all they needed to hear.
They impounded my car on a drug forfeiture.
Using state forfeiture laws, cops were allowed to seize Bergen's car and the money found in her wallet because they believed they came from selling drugs. The laws have been on the books for decades, designed to crack down on criminals like drug dealers.
Are you a drug dealer?
Not at all.
What are you?
I'm a cancer patient.
For the last 8 years, Lena Bergen has battled 4 kinds of cancer. Today, she is stage 4, with doctors giving her a year to live. She has a valid state license to use medical marijuana and offered to show an officer this signed application from her doctor.
He's like, I don't need to see that. And I was like, well, you know, by state law, you kind of have to see it. And like, I kept expressing to him, like, I'm a medical patient. I'm in my final stages. You know, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not buying it off the street. I'm not selling it on the street.
Bergen's car and money were seized by police, and she was hit with drug charges.
That's one of the more outrageous cases. I mean, that's somebody who's truly innocent.
Attorney William Mays has helped people like Lena Bergen get their property back from police. He says that in an era of deep budget cuts, some departments depend on forfeitures to make up the difference.
There's really no cap on what they can use this money for anymore. It is policing for profit.
Bergen had to spend the last 4 months proving her innocence, and just last week, all those drug charges were dismissed. She got her money and car back, but only after hiring a lawyer and spending a lot of time she doesn't have.
Now, policing for profit, that's a tough charge. And I've seen police departments with shiny new vehicles, helicopters, boats, and things like that. How much money are we talking is involved here for police departments?
2 years ago, the most they got about $24 million in 1 year.
million.
Officers from departments all over the state. Now, they can use that for personnel. They can use it to buy equipment. They can use what they seize themselves. If you go to Sterling Heights, you'll see officers there have a lot of flat-screen TVs that they seized in some raids. The officer, or the chief rather, in Highland Park drives a Cadillac Escalade that was seized in a raid. So. Wow. That doesn't mean that it was necessarily improperly seized, right, but it means that they can benefit by what they're taking, which is why what a lot of people are concerned about is the controls here aren't tight enough.
In Lena Bergen's case, you said she was at least accused of a crime. Do you have to be at least accused to have them come in and take stuff?
You don't have to be accused of anything, just suspected. So essentially they're accusing your money, accusing your property of being guilty. You have to then prove that it's not, and that's not always easy for some people to do, especially if they take maybe $300 or $400. It's not really worth it to you to try to hire a lawyer to prove you didn't do anything wrong, because you're going to lose money in that deal. So they can just accuse your property of being illegal.
Any efforts to change the law or at least tighten the oversight?
There is a bill in Lansing right now. It's sitting in the House that would try to tighten a lot of these rules and try to make it harder to take somebody's money or property. Right now, the only standard that you need to take something is a preponderance of evidence, which is just 51%. It's not clear and convincing. And some sheriffs like Mike Bouchard in Oakland County say it should be higher. It should be harder to take people's property, especially if you don't accuse them of anything.
Right. You'll have more later?
More tonight at 11 o'clock.
We'll be watching.